Twitter. There's a researcher at Stanford who says that this is a critical moment, really, in terms of ensuring that Twitter does not become a vector for misinformation. I mean, are you concerned about Elon Musk says there's more and more subscribers coming online. Are you concerned about that? And what tools do you have? Who is it at the White House that is really keeping track of this?
So look, this is something that we're certainly keeping an eye on. And
my Stanford professors, he suggested that we shouldn't, that Twitter might be a vector of misinformation. The White House is very aware of this, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that our CIA-implanted algorithms are hard at work inside the Twitter headquarters, but Elon is making it very difficult to...
What are you talking about, a vector of misinformation? What does that even mean? Where did you formulate this concept of vector of misinformation? Because we certainly can't question the narrative, right? We can't question the narrative that maybe locking people up and keeping them from going to their places of worship or where they work, or questioning this very sus vaccine that we just rolled out, and it doesn't necessarily need to be approved because we have an emergency act and nobody can question it. Don't question it. Oh, people are dying? Well, it's certainly not because of that. It's because of COVID. We need to make sure that everybody is on the same page as far as COVID misinformation. We don't want anything to get out. Yeah, sure, maybe the vaccine works, maybe it doesn't, who the fuck knows, but your ability to question it should be your right. It should not matter. And if it's wrong, if your voice is wrong and science shows and can prove that it's wrong, then let that be it. We don't need to censor it. We shouldn't have algorithms in place censoring misinformation. It's questioning the narrative. It's misinformation. That's a stupid term, clearly only dubbed by the fucking screeching left, as they don't like anybody questioning their paradigms, their text bubbles, their echo chambers. You can't travel outside their echo chambers, or you will have a screeching fucking...
Well, we are having one or two little problems at the moment. It won't be too long.
Leftists out on the loose, trying to fucking arrest people for not wearing masks in their cars or whatever other nonsense they can think of. This is just, let's see what else she has to say.
no, he was talking about assault weapons. That's what he was talking about on that morning or that afternoon when he was asked that question.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Oh, so he wasn't just talking about semi-autos. So let's be clear. He wasn't grouping all semi-autos in that. It wasn't everything. It was just assault, right? It was just assault, right? Assault weapons. It was just assault weapons. Just assault weapons. Not all of them. Just the ones that can assault people. Another stupid fucking term only dubbed by the left. Assault weapons or assault rifles. What does that even mean? We could take literally any conceivable matter and turn it into an assault weapon. We can take an extension cord and turn it into an assault extension cord. People take vehicles all the time and they're assault vehicles. Like, this is a stupid term. Let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen. The Second Amendment has fuck all. Yes, I said fuck all to do with hunting, sportsmanship, or anything outside of protecting your life and liberty and pursuit of happiness from a tyrannical regime. That is what it's for. The hunting and sportsman aspects of it are just a icing on top of the cake, so to speak. Other than that, that's what it's for. So reducing our ability, as they already have in several capacities, to do so by restricting magazine capacities or what you're allowed to have. Oh, can't have an open bow, or you can't have a pistol grip, or you can't have an adjustable stock, because that makes it far more lethal. If somebody can adjust the stock to their height, do you know what kind of damage they can do? No, this is stupid. You can do arguably just as much damage, if not more, in close quarters with a fucking shotgun than you can an AR. But you're probably more likely to survive a fucking AR round than, you are more likely to survive an AR round than a shotgun blast to the dome or the chest. Like, what are we talking about? This is stupid. And anybody who clings onto the notion that the Second Amendment has anything to do other than protect yourself from a tyrannical regime is fucking moronic. It's that plain and simple. I mean, in other news, the Chinese currently are trying their best to stand up to oppression, but we couldn't be standing up to oppression and communism. Because, you know, that's going to get censored. They don't want us talking about that. But let's show some clips of the wonderful folks over in China who are attempting to see what it's like to corral a little bit of balls and freedom and stand up to their fucking communist oppressor. It's a beautiful sight, really is. On a side note, they are also welding their doors shut. I'm not sure how that's perceived as anything other than tyrannical. Here's some clips of that. This is just true atrocity in its whole. I bet you the Chinese people right now wish that they had some assault weapons. Not to do anything with, of course, because that would be bad, and you certainly wouldn't want to stand up against your tyrannical regime. You want to meet them with hugs, flowers, and rainbow farts, as that is truly the means to an end. I just don't even know anymore. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. This is the reality we live in right now, as sad as that may be. So when your neighbor or your friend or your family member is like, we really need to apply some sort of sensible gun laws, just remind them that there are NICS checks, there's background checks, there's waiting periods, there's all sorts of things. Hell, in a lot of states, you can't even buy high-capacity magazines because they're so bad. Let's not forget, and you can throw this out to them too, that you are more likely to die in a fucking train accident than a mass shooting. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you're more likely to die in a train accident than a mass shooting. I didn't even know people fucking rode on trains anymore, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. Digging in the web the other day, I was like, what are some things you're actually more likely to die from than a mass shooting? Turns out fucking most everything in the world. You're probably more likely to die of a fucking shark attack. I don't know that to be true because I don't think there's that many shark attacks either, but neither are there mass shootings. Yes, when they happen, they suck. They're tragic, of course. But given the fact that there are more guns in this country than people, I think we have a pretty good grip on as a whole, given that there are, 20 to 30,000 homicides, gun-related homicides. I think I'm probably hyperinflating that number. I know it's not a ton. In most of them, like 60% of those numbers are from suicides. So it's not 20 or 30,000 homicides. It's like 20 or 30 gun-related deaths, 60% of which is generally like suicides. So really the number really isn't that big. So really, what are we crying over? What are we crying over? It's stupid. If we really want to like get after it, then let's talk about medical malpractice that kills upwards of like 800,000 people a year. Now there's numbers from like 90,000 conservatively, all the way up to 800 plus thousand. They're all over the place. But so let's just dig in the middle at like 200 to 300,000 people are dead every year from medical malpractice. And you want to take our fucking rifles away. You can't make this shit up, people. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and tune in next time when we dress up as a unicorn and use the ladies' restroom.